What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday's edition of Debate Amongst Friends. Doc here, recording this preview. Um, as promised on Wednesday's episode, we're delivering you the interview with Jerome McLean of We Elite Sports and the interview that I had about flag football in North Carolina. So sit back and enjoy this episode. This is me, Doc Leesner, Troy Lee, head coach of the Gridiron Gang, and Jerome McLean, the owner of the We Elite Sports League, this fall here in the Wake County area of North Carolina.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Did you see it? You found it?
Yeah, I found it, brother. You know what? I was on the computer. I thought I could do it on the computer.
Oh yeah, no. It's a new age, man. You got to get out of the 80s and 90s, and you know what I'm saying.
It's all good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm just chilling, man. Chilling. Yeah, I'm doing good though, man. I'm doing good.
Awesome to hear. I also agree, man. That 1500 is good love. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think either way, it was going to be 1,000, if not 15, no matter the amount of teams. So it was going to be, I think, good regardless. But now that you're up here, we'll get to your team in a second. But obviously, you was coaching. You weren't the head coach at the time, but you were still coaching with Gridiron in the fall of last year, right?
Yeah, I came on at the tail end.
Oh yeah, but you was part of the first model and stuff like that. As a coach, first and foremost, y'all, this is Troy. He's the head coach, the new head coach. He's been coaching on the staff for Gridiron Gang, but now he's taking over the reins of Gridiron Gang. For y'all that was at the Tar Heel State Championship, if I'm not mistaken, Coach, I believe that was y'all first tournament, right?
Yeah, first tournament. Yep.
Tournament stuff. And whatnot. So this is that coach, and we'll get into his team in a second. But do the ladies, like, what do you think about that model? Do you think, like, it's that time for women to be getting their due as well? Like, tell me your real thoughts on it.
No, absolutely. So initially when I came back, because I did have to take some time off, when I came back, that was like the first question I asked. I was like, hey, I know we're putting out money, but are we getting paid? Because I came from a semi-pro background where I felt like the owners always got paid. If you win, you get paid. That's just how it is. And what happens is, and I told the ladies that usually in most of these leagues, you pay to try to win your money back so that next season, when you come back out, you don't have to pay team dues. You can get new jerseys. You can, get new equipment, whatever you need. Instead of it coming out of your money, it comes out of your winnings, which is what I expected the whole time. But when they said no, there's no money, I'm like, so I understand it's competitive, but let's remember that this is now officially just recreation. Like, I don't want nobody getting hurt, losing their jobs, losing their livelihoods over recreation. But you throw money in there, that's something completely different.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. When I first got into it in 2015, it was, we didn't win any money until we won the fall season last year, right? So it was fall. So it was. I don't know of any league here that did it. Now, early on, if you won league play, you get the championship trophy and all that stuff. But then they pay for They basically get a paid bid to national. So when you get ready to go to national in January, your bid, your team don't have to pay that entry fee. Your league pays for it. So, but if you didn't go to nationals, it was like, okay, that's just money. That's just,
again, we had fun.
It's imprecatory.
Yeah. We had fun. It was a good run. We had fun. It's honest. We had fun. It was a good time. We got better. We learned. But ultimately, if we didn't win, we had a good time. Hopefully.
Yeah. No. It's. I think at this point of stage, I don't think it's not no women's team that's starting to look at it like if we playing, we need to be getting paid. Now, obviously, it's up to you and your play and win, but it needs to be on the table. If we do, then we want to have the possibility to win, and that's one of the other reasons why we wanted to offer that game of the week is because it may be some teams that's going to be coming in and still early on start to get. They may not be championship caliber yet, so it gives them a chance to kind of win a little money in between. It might not be a lot of money, but I think it's still the thought and the effort out there that hey, you can win something.
Yeah, and like I said, it helps you with supplies. I know, there was a couple fines that happened. I mean, you just never know. It's going to pay for something. It's not going to be pocketed. It's going to pay for some water bottles, whatever it is, Gatorade, a new football, whatever it is, it's going to pay for something. So, no, it's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, and in the fall of 2020, I think y'all won a game of the week, didn't you?
We did, yeah. I checked. So I wasn't there at on that game, but I checked the ledger since I'm now the head coach. I have the ledger, and I was like, "Hey, it looked like we won 2 of them."
Oh, okay, so there you go. So that's good. So you know what I'm saying. So it just when I heard the stuff that I heard recently from different teams, not even here. I'm talking about outside of North Carolina. It was like, oh, we don't win nothing. We just get a trophy. I was like, hold on, wait.
I mean, listen, trophies. I mean, trophies are cool though. I mean, let's not knock trophies, right? Let's not knock trophies. Yeah, let's not knock trophies. I mean, it's cool, but obviously, it would be great to get a trophy and cash.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, because the trophy I got, that was like even though I was the one to pay for it, so I ended up paying for the trophy anyway and winning it.
Right. I mean, and I told you, when you remember, you let me borrow the trophy at that one point, and I told you I'm outside and I'm giving it back to you, and at least 4 or 5 people stopped me and like, hey, you got a trophy? I was like, yeah, it's not mine. I'm giving it back. I hope to get one in the future, but I also hope to get a big check as well.
Yeah, no, good. But look, so tell the people about who you now. They know you gridiron coach. Just kind of tell about the story behind how you got into flag football coaching, and then a little bit.
Sure. I mean, my story kind of starts with you. So I came out with Coach Darnell McKenzie from Visual Dynasty. He came out to film the Lady Rangers. I just so happened to come. He kept telling me about it. And I just so happened to come out that one day and watch you guys play. And I was like, man, this is phenomenal. And at that time, he was thinking about starting a team. And I've been there. Starting any adult team from the bottom is tough. And I told him that it's tough. Recruiting, getting jerseys, equipment, the whole thing is going to cost you a lot of money. But he said he was going to try it. We tried it for a little bit, and then we wound up meeting Andre, Coach Andre, who was the coach of the Gridiron Gang. We decided to join him and his staff, in which I was just an assistant coach. I didn't really expect to stay in it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't expect to stay in it. I thought I probably would go and coach high school or do something completely different. But it seemed like it just kept calling me. So the first year I kind of eased out. I let them do it, and then the second year I actually tore my patella tendon at practice, which is why I missed your season. And then I came back, and then of course COVID happened, and at home I was like, you know what, I don't want to risk it with myself or my wife. So I took another season off, and then certain people started messaging me like, hey coach, like we really need you to come back. Like we need you to come back. And I'm like, I don't know. Let me wait till after I come back from Puerto Rico. Let me think about it. I'm going to go on vacation. So then I finally came back. But it wasn't until this year that I was like, all right, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to do this. And it just so happened that at the same time I was coming back, Coach James said he was stepping down. And at first I wasn't going to become head coach. I promise you. I had no intention on being the head coach of a flag football team. And I told him, I was like, man, it's going to be kind of a Dave Chappelle kind of thing. Like, that R. Kelly skit when he's like, I'm going to need 2 forms of ID with, the person with the milk and all that other stuff. And I was like, I'm going to need that. So then I went to sleep that night. And I tell you no lie, I had a dream. I was on the sideline with a clipboard, with a full roster. And I was like, I woke up at 4 a.m. I was like, dang it, God. Like, why you had to do me like that? Like, I know I said it. But why you had to do me like that? So I messaged him at like 6 a.m. I was like, you know what, bro? I'll do it. I said, I had a dream. I was holding the clipboard. I told him the exact thing. I had a dream. I was holding the clipboard. I had the roster in hand. I was on the sideline. I'll do it. So he turned everything over. And after the We Up Next season ended, I became the official head coach.
Good. Yeah. And it's kind of like during that season, though, you kind of understood that it was kind of changing at some point, right? So when I'm speaking to James during that time, because that's really when I got to know. I already knew James because, like you said, they came to my Lady Rangers practices and stuff like that and filming and getting some stuff. So I already knew James, knew Darnell. That's how I met you, obviously.
Exactly.
But I really got to know, and I knew a lot of the girls, but I really got to know y'all a lot this back in round between March and now, right? Because you know what I'm saying, I spent a lot of time with y'all coming to your practices and stuff like that. Obviously, I came to a game or so, and we ain't gonna talk about the rest, but I got banned in a sense. But
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Like I said yesterday, put your haters in VIP. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and they can take a drink on me. You know,
that's it. On you, exactly. Show them your success.
100%. And but you know, so I had a chance to spend a lot of time with you, your players, and whatnot. So I kind of I had spoke to James privately about him talking about transitioning, and he's gonna let you start running practices and stuff like that. And so you kind of knew at some point this was gonna transition. Right.
After the dream. That's exactly that. That's when it happened. Once I had a dream, I told him, and we started the transition from there. Like I said, I think for me, running practice, I think in the beginning, obviously you have things that you know you want to get done. So that part was not a problem. I think this is my first off season that I've had. So of course you got to work in conditioning. Obviously, you know, you have to decide whether you want to run the same plays. You know, we don't have the same players. So now I got to potentially change my scheme. The tournament was a good look for us because it gave me an opportunity to see who could do what, even though the outcome wasn't what we expected, of course, because you want to win. But I think being on the field and seeing our girls, which Gridiron is built on heart, right? That's what we're known for. We're known for a team with big heart. So it's like no matter what's happening and we're not quitting, there's still some positive plays that were made. There's still some positive takeaways. It's just for me as a coach to help my team get better. And that's my focus.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, you're 100% right. So I was happy that when you messaged me and said, "Hey, coach, I think we're gonna put a team in the tournament."
Right.
I was happy, not because it was We Elite Sports Tournament. I was happy because I knew this would be good for Gridiron Gang. No matter the outcome, this would be a good telltale story to see where your ladies really are and what we need to do in the next few weeks to get ready for fall play, right?
Exactly.
To work on. So I was ecstatic because, you know, when you have a league, you want to try to have it to be quality from top to bottom. And there's not we know this team going to probably win or this team will win, right? So the more teams, that's why we push so much to try to get as many North Carolina teams in the tournament, because I think I knew it was only going to help us in terms of the state of North Carolina be better and be more quality, pay a more competitive play. So I was excited. I was like, yeah.
So I was shocked. You know, my situation, I wasn't even in town. They were having this discussion, and I'm like, okay, you know, just last week we weren't playing. There were some people playing on 919 Chaos, which congrats to the Chaos and Troy. I mean, we were all set to kind of join them and play with them. But then, you know, I took a quick trip. I come back, I'm looking in the messages, and they're like, "Nah, coach, we're gonna play with this 12, 13." I'm like, all right, well, send me the money. They send me the money and I'll put it in. That's all I can do. And that's the thing I would say that I like about the girls that I have is that, you know, once they put their mind to something, I believe that they'll make it happen. So it's like, hey, we want to play in this tournament. Thanks. Send me the money, show up to practice. Let's go out here and let's compete. And I feel like that's what we did. We came out, we competed. I'm really, really not big on excuses. And I kind of try to, you know, install that into the ladies. It's like, it doesn't matter who's out here, who we have, who we don't have, who didn't show up. The people who are here is who we have to play with. And I told them, like, hey, there's going to be some point in this game where you're going to have to play a position that you've never played before. And that's kind of what we put out there. So I was just happy that they were still, I guess, they had enough heart to continue to compete no matter what was going on. It was hot. It started raining. That was a whole nother story. I felt like the rain was just a baptism moment for me. I didn't run for cover. I didn't go get the umbrella, my jacket. I actually left my jacket at the field. I just walked off in the rain. I was just like, you know what? This is the whole off season for me right here. There's rain on me. I'll just take it.
That's good metaphor. No, 100%. Yeah, it's first tournament,
right?
Rain, right? So it's like
I see people running, get umbrellas. I'm like, man, it's football. This is like that scene in Any Given Sunday. You know, Jamie Foxx is getting drilled, right? So I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take it.
Yeah, I've always admired Gridiron Gang, and I've told you this before, and I told your ladies this. It reminded me of how we did our approach with the Lady Rangers, and we did it with our ladies, right? We didn't try to go get people from different teams or recruit from different teams. We just wanted to get it out the mud with our group of ladies. If we can get these ladies develop into not great football players, but really good football players, get their IQs up and things like that, we'll be really good, and then we could build around those ladies, right?
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I always admired about Gridiron Gang. I've had this conversation with you, James, and some of the ladies that, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of adversity and whatnot, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to have players that come and players that go and whatnot.
You know, I know.
Yeah, right? And it's that nucleus is what's the most important. If you can if it's only 8 that really buys into the program and stuff like that, you can really build around those 8, because those 8 can be contagious to the new people, right? And then now, you know what I'm saying? Because even for y'all spring season, y'all was always just one play away.
One play, exactly. I mean, most of the games were 7-9, especially the last 4. So the last 4 is when I showed up, and you know, you think about it. Those last 4 weeks, I installed an offense in 2 weeks, right? So we can move the ball. So the first game, we ran, we started moving the ball a little bit more. Second game, we started driving. Third game, we started driving even more. And then, of course, that last game, we finally started driving and actually won the game. So it was like lose, tie, win, right? So you could tell that forward progression is happening. And I was like, okay, we cooking with something. If I can keep this group together, I think next season will be good. But, you know, again, whoever wears that GG in the season, whoever comes in, I mean, that's what we're going to roll with. And that's all I can do. So I have to build around those players. I'll say this. I've been a Bucks fan for probably 22 years. I know that's a very unpopular statement to make, right? So I got 2 Super Bowl wins, probably about 15 losing seasons. And I'll say this, I've always admired Tony Dungy, right? And in one of his books, he says, as a head coach, your only job is to make your team better. That's my only job. So I have to monitor and manage each of my ladies' personalities, whatever they got going on outside of football. It's not just about the game. It's about making sure that I help them also as women, right? Whatever it is that they particularly need off the field, whether that's just a listening ear or, you know, they need more work. If they feel like something's going on, that's what we're all there for. It's a family, right? We're not just here playing football. So however I can make my team better on and off the field, that's what I do.
Yeah. No.
That's me in a nutshell.
No. That's perfectly said, because Tony Dungy is one of my favorite. I'm a Cowboy fan, but Tony Dungy has been one of my favorite coaches ever since I can remember. And obviously that first Super Bowl y'all won was his Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody said.
It was. Yeah, it was.
But he don't get the ring for it, but I think everybody agreed. But
it's a lot of people. It's a lot of you could even say Sean King should have won one, but we're not going to go down that road. Brad Johnson won it. You know, all good.
So, yeah, your only job is to, you know, deal with what you have. Like you have
exactly.
And I see a lot of coaches sometimes making excuses like we don't have the numbers, we don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, hey. And I hate to talk about our story, but 2017, we had 3 players. Going to the 2017, the Lady Rangers had 3 players, a quarterback, a rusher, and an offensive lineman. And we made no excuses. We said, okay, if we want to have a team, guess what? We all got to put some work in and go grind and get players and get people and stuff like that. I think if every coach and every player on every team get that mindset, I think it'll make good for each team having better numbers. And like I told your girls, and I tell all these other teams when I'm visiting them and talking with them, you all have each lady that you know commit to bringing somebody to practice when they come, right? And then even if there's nobody they think may not want to play, hey, just come out and get the conditioning. Come out and just get the workout. Right. Once they see you out there putting the work in and y'all having fun and you catch your balls and you run, they're going to be like, oh, man, I like this. I want to try this out more, right? Start coming and coming and stuff like that. And people are like, nah, my buddy ain't going to come or my friend ain't going to come. Right. You'd be surprised because you never asked.
Oh, my God. I think one of the new girls, I was kind of shocked. I was like, I didn't know how it was going to fare, but she, again, positive spot in that weekend. I was like, okay, we got ourselves a baller. You know, I didn't know what to expect. It's her first time. She didn't know no football language. I was like, okay, but she can pull a flag. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we need. But, I mean, I kind of changed the way, and I'll do some insider trading secrets here. So I kind of changed the way that we started kind of accepting people into the team. So, and you've seen it once when you came out to practice. So instead of just throwing people in practice, and them kind of struggling to grasp the language, everything that we're asking them, I let them do the stretches, the warm-ups, right? But then I have one of the other coaches kind of take them to the side, and I actually have them run their own individual combine. So it's like I have them run usually a 20-yard dash. Sometimes we go 40, but I just want to see how fast they can run 20 yards. That's all I need to see. I have them throw, I have them catch, I have them kick. Because although people feel like, oh, I can't do anything, it's like, no, you got at least one skill in there and I'm going to find it. And once I find it, I'm going to make sure I put you in the strongest position possible. So every new person that comes out, I make them run, I make them kick, I make them throw, and I make them catch just to kind of see where they are. If I have a kicker that they didn't even know they could be a kicker, but it also gives me an opportunity to coach them or see them being coached and see if they can follow direction also, if they're coachable. So that's kind of what we do when a new person. So if anybody comes to our practice, we don't just usually throw them out there. I usually have another coach, hey, take them to the side, have them throw 5, 10, 15, 20 yards, have them run, have them kick, have them punt. Let's see what we got. Even sometimes a little three-cone shuffle just to see that change of direction, and then bring them back over to start introducing them slowly to what we're doing. Just to kind of get out of just throwing people into the fire. Because I had got some feedback from some girls that I guess came to practice. I want to say years ago. She said she felt like she wasn't good. And I was like, but you only came to 2 practices. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was fast. She had great speed. And I was like, by now, we would have been able to coach you up and we could really use your speed at this very moment. But she felt like she wasn't good. She felt like she wasn't good at it. So she just stopped coming. And that's the one thing you try not to make sure that girls are getting discouraged because they don't know what's going on. So it's helped so far getting people acclimated into the system, getting people to come back to want to learn more and want to be more a part of the team. That's the one thing I will say that method has helped tremendously.
No, I saw that when I came to you. Right. When I came to your practice, I saw that. And I thought it was a good idea. You're absolutely right. Because especially if you already have like a system in place and the ladies understand it, it's hard to put somebody in and say, oh, get right here and run it, because you got to teach it all over to her just alone, right?
Right, exactly.
So, obviously, at some point, she's going to have to learn it, but you can definitely push her over there, continue to work with your team, have the other coach or coaches work on her and see her skill set, right? And I thought it was good. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? And if I was still coaching, I probably would steal it.
And that's okay. That's all right. That's why I said I'll give an inside trader secret just in case anybody wants to steal it. It just makes sense because the person's going to come in. They're going to be like, this team is already kind of up and rolling. So here I am coming in. I feel like I'm behind, but you're really not behind. You're just new, and you got to give yourself some grace and come in and be ready to work.
No, right, 100%. That's good. And it's another thing that you do that I like that I never thought of. And I thought I was like the marketing guru and do I come up with all these resources to help be a better team recruit.
Right.
And you fit me on this. And it's probably other teams that do it. And I'm just behind.
It's
when
possible.
you do the form.
Oh, yeah, the form. Yeah. So Job Form is out there. It's JOTFORM. Something, honestly, I kind of stumbled on it years ago. I was going to have a Madden tournament. Me and my brother were trying to figure out how to get people to sign up. So I took over as head coach. I'm like, well, I got to figure out something because, I don't want my players. I don't want to go out and just be asking people for their phone numbers. Right. So I'm at the supermarket. I see a girl and I'm like, oh my God, like she's an athlete. She looked like she could play, right? Or I'm looking, I'm like, man, I wonder if she can block. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're sitting there and as a male, you're looking at the woman and she's like, I'm like, no offense, but you look like you might be, you know what I'm saying? You look like you might be able to block, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know, so here we have a business card that has a QR code on it, or they could show the QR code on their phone. We had the business card, my information on it. But the QR code takes you directly to the form, or I could just send people the link to our form. And it's just a basic form, name, height, weight, if they want to put it, whether they have any sporting experience at all. And then if somebody referred them or how to hear about us, just so I can kind of know what's working and what's not working. And we got a good response so far. Like, a lot of girls come in, so I take that. I either message them myself or I give it to the captains to give them a call. I try to go the college route and send them an email. Once I get it, I usually send an email, like a professional email with our logo and, hey, thank you for your interest in the team. And then one of us call them just to kind of keep that, I hate to say lead, but it's like you think about it in regards to sales, you got that first 20 minutes, if somebody first fills out something, right, to call them. So I was like, all right, let me think about my sales experience. Like, we got to reach out to them in the first 3 days. Yep. So I was like, all right, let me do something. So it's either myself or the captains reach out to them to try to get them to come to practice, and then we put them through it. Like I said, it's something that I found interesting, and it helps.
It is, because it's so many times, and I still do it now because I try to get as many recruits in so I can team players we do it. And it'll be that approach, right? It'll be like, yeah, she look like she an athlete.
Right.
And me, I've always been good. The proof is in the pudding. I think I was always a good recruiter. I can tell if you're an athlete or not for the most part, right? And I was like, so I have to be cautious though when you approach a woman. Right. 9 out of 10, she think you trying to holler at her, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got to do a double take. I'll let her slide. If I see you again, then I can talk to you, right?
Yeah.
So I saw you again. I just, most of my approach typically is, do you play any sports?
Right.
Oh yeah, I played basketball in high school. Okay.
Here's my card.
Then I go through it. You ever thought about playing women's flag football? Sometimes I get, you know what? Somebody else just asked me about that. Or
Yeah.
Or no, but I didn't know that existed. I was like, what? But I said, oh, you don't? Oh man, you need to follow our page and see this and stuff like that.
So initially that's what I was doing. Like, hey, you need to follow our page, our Instagram. But then I was like, nah, I need something else. And that's why I was like, I need this job form. I can hit them with the QR code. Because, we always have our phones. So it's like, I can just hit them with the QR code, and then they just get it on their phone, fill out the information, and it comes right to my email. So it's like, bam, I got you. Or I give you a card. I can show you the QR code, or just hit me. I'll add you to the list. But it definitely helped ease the transition, and it helps the ladies because it's like you're not just collecting all these phone numbers.
Sure.
Right? And now you're chasing people down trying to get it. But this also gives them an action so that that they're serious about playing. Because now it's not just, hey, come to practice, or, hey, follow our page. It's like, hey, fill out this form to even think about joining our team. right?
Sure.
So it gives them an action item. And that way, at least you know that they're somewhat interested in playing because they've actually gone through and filled out the form. So some point of it's actually some kind of a, I guess, psychological thing also, like, hey, I've done this. So
yeah, no, it's good. If they take the time to fill it out, they have some interest.
They have some interest.
You have to turn that little bit of interest into, I got to get you to the, because I always tell people, if you can get them to the practice field, that would sell itself. I promise you. Right?
Yeah, because you're going to have all the other ladies there. Yeah, I agree. And sometimes I try not to overwhelm them either.
Then your ladies will close the deal. Your ladies will close the deal.
Exactly.
They'll start being personable, talking to them. Hey, yeah, definitely this, that, and third. Hopefully doing the right thing and making them feel encouraged and stuff like that. And things like that. And then after that, you leave it to the ladies to follow up with it and do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then, boom, next thing you know, hey, you see her added in the group me.
Right. Exactly. And that's kind of why I send the captains to talk to. Like, I send the captains to call them because it's like, hey, if they get a call from me, it's like, but if they get a call from a player who they can actually ask and get the questions answered, I mean, it's going to work. Like, I got one today. I was like, hey, can you call this person like ASAP? Like, oh my God, I call them. She ran track. Oh my God, I don't care how old she is. She ran track. At one point, she ran track. I'll take her.
I'll take her.
I will take her. And you'll use her some form or fashion. Everybody gets used. I told them. I said, I don't know what your strength is, but I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. Now that's the beauty of coaching is you find your player's strength. Oftentimes, I can tell you, man. Oftentimes, you get a player and we want to play this position, though. And the players, even at the mini camp, and you was at the mini camp.
Yeah, there was a couple of them I wanted to steal. But I didn't. I was like, man, I hope this person don't play. It was some studs out there, like some really good players.
But a lot of the new ones were like, hey, do you know where I'm position I might be playing? And I was like, this is the purpose of the mini camp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna try to watch as many as I can to see what you do and how your feet were looking. And that's how I used to tell players when they played for me for the first time. I said, look, I don't know what position you're going to play. It's going to take us a couple of practice. But once after a couple of practice, I can see what your skill set is, your strength, your weaknesses, and then we'll pitch in the position from there. And most players appreciate it. Now, you had some players that maybe played on another team and it kind of the team was off and they came over to our program and they used to play in this position over there. But I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. The team you probably was on, you didn't really get a chance to really, the coach didn't really evaluate you. You look like you was fast. Oh, he picked you at receiver or running back. Right? Exactly. You can't catch a lick, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a lot of times we go through the same track, right? When new girl come in, what do? We put them at rusher. Right? And I was like, man, I'm kind of tired of that, man, because I know some of these people are probably better than just rushing. So I was like, you know what? We gotta figure out a different way. So I don't just put them at rusher. I mean, if they're showing me something that maybe looks like they might be at a rusher, sure, but we got to skip that. Just putting them directly at rusher, like they might be. That's why I said put them through the drills, see if they can catch, see if they can run. But at the end, maybe at the last resort, you put them at rusher. But some people go straight to rusher, like, hey, don't worry about learning anything.
That's what I did. I talked to the coach. I was like, coach, she got to be a rusher until we figure out what she's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
She got to be a rusher.
The worst she could do is not keep contained.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Which is the thing.
Oh, my God. When I first came out, I think I threw a girl at rusher, and I think it was a scrimmage. In the first play, I mean, she got pancaked something serious, man. And I was just like, oh, my God, I don't think she's coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she's coming back. And I didn't say it to nobody, but I was like, she ain't coming back. And I think that next weekend or maybe that next day, she went to like Atlanta. I ain't never seen her since. So that was a couple years ago.
So, but it's rather, that's what I was saying. The scrimmages is good because it'll get it out the way. You don't want it to happen 3 weeks in the season because that's their first game and you done spent all this time with them, right?
Right. Right.
So as much as you don't want to lose these players, but it's good to get it out early and say, okay, like that's why I encourage teams to have scrimmages, especially when you got new players. Get the scrimmages because they even though you may tell them it's contact, they may assume, yeah, it's just like incidental contact. But and then they say, they. This ain't what I thought it was. I'm not coming back.
I'm not doing. No. I know.
I've been there. We've all been there.
And again, I think some of the girls tell them like, "Hey, y'all think it's a joke, man." But once you get into the trenches, especially if you're a rusher, and some of these teams like they're really throwing double teams, and like, hey, listen, you're gonna have two girls coming after you. So I need you to stay low, protect yourself. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, like I'm putting you right here. You're in this A gap, bro. I'm putting you right here. You are gonna have two girls double teaming you most of the game. I need you to fight and hold your position right here. Do not get moved from this gap. You know what I'm saying? Don't you get moved from this gap. But I tell them, like, you're going to get a lot of contact, especially as a rusher. And, I mean, like I said, it's all about the coaching. It's all about the teaching. But, there's a lot of contact.
Good. Well, look, I got two things for you.
Sure.
And the last one is going to be more about you, your team. You're going to have the floor to do say whatever, however you want about your team, recruit, you know what I'm saying? Insider trading, if you need to throw a couple of dollars to something, you know what I'm saying? You need to bribe somebody to come.
Hey, I understand. I get it.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So one of the things, because if you saw my line earlier, we was talking about the league stuff, right? Like different leagues that we talked about. With your team, obviously you made some decision here recently about, it was opportunities to play in different spots. And it's always good when you have opportunities, always they look good, right?
Options,
for Gridiron Gang, what do you obviously as a coach, but your ladies look for when playing it? Like what's always like, hey, look, if we don't have this, it don't make sense for us, or we want this is what I think every coach has something that they want their ladies to be. Like, hey, this is, you know what I'm saying? I know I did. I was like, we want to be.
What do you mean as far as what I want from a recruit or?
No, I'm talking about from a league standpoint. What do your team look for in the league? Like, what do you want from your league? And what decisions do you make when choosing?
So this is my first time, of course, choosing the league. So I mean, it was a different experience. Again, I usually let the ladies have all the input. I mean, I just present the facts like, hey, this is the league. This is the league fee for this one. This one has this. These are the strengths here. These are the weaknesses here. Can we commit to this? Can we, are we okay with this? This particular season, it did come down to, hey, where's the money? You know what I mean? Like, where can we compete for the money? Right? Where are we going to go where, we won't have as much issues? I mean, referees are always a problem. I mean, the one thing I will say is that I hate losing, but I don't like being cheated either. So one thing I can't say, I don't like being cheated. Don't cheat, get nothing. We're done. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the league, I think it came down to, hey, where are the majority of teams playing? Who is ready at this particular time, as far as having a flyer out, as far as showing some sense of urgency, because we are pushing September. I mean, it's coming. But then it came down to, how much the league is, how much travel we have to do. I guess just the money involved. How much are we putting out versus how much we're getting? Obviously, your particular league, as you mentioned, you have the game of the week. You have the potential pot winner. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we know the product that Jerome's going to have on the field, right? I think the only reason that they weren't with you last season, because there wasn't a season, right?
Oh, so before you say that, let me stop there. Yeah. I want to shout y'all out because we could have still did the league, right? I think we had it was Gridiron Gang paid the money. Right.
Yeah, I saw that.
That tells me that they've always believed in We Elite Sports. Even before everything happened, they was like, yeah, this is where we at.
This is where we at.
Fayetteville Ducks was another, right? Fayetteville Ducks, Chaos, and Hit Squad, right? And Charlotte Outlaws. So we could have still put a league together for the spring. And I told you this, and I told a lot of your ladies this and other ladies, I said, we could have. It would have been great for women's flag football in North Carolina had we did that.
No, I hear you.
right? So that's why I've always and I wanted to shout y'all out for that because y'all believed in us right off the bat and continue to believe because y'all was the first team to spend your James sent that money immediately.
Yeah.
That's we're with you, coach. So no, but go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off, but I'm glad you said that. That's something I wanted to shout y'all out about there. It's on my notes.
Yeah. No. I appreciate it. Yeah, I saw the ledger. Like I said, when he turned the money over, I was like, all right, I got to keep this little trapper keeper now. And I'm looking, I'm like, hey, we paid team fees twice. Like that don't add up. Like, why we do that? But then I kind of understood exactly what happened. But like I said,
I did refund it, by the way.
Yeah. I saw that. That's what I said. I was like, okay, we paid team fees twice for the spring. That's kind of strange, but it's all good. I understand. Like I said, everything has a story, especially money. Money has a story if you look at a ledger. So I'm watching it and I'm looking at it, but that's a whole nother thing. What's your second question?
The second question is, what's your vision for Gridiron Gang? And tell everybody about your team. Like, what's your atmosphere like, the environment? What type of players do y'all look for or looking for? And use this moment to sell Gridiron Gang to whomever.
Okay.
Even coaches, right? Even coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm always looking for coaches. Anybody that's out there that's looking to join a staff, I'm always looking. My vision for Gridiron Gang really is to build a dynasty. I think that's always been something that I know if I was going to build a team, because I'm a builder, I'm always looking to have my team get better, have my team compete. So anybody that comes to Gridiron Gang, I think the one thing is you got to have a positive attitude. I think the one thing that we try to do is we try our best to keep a positive attitude and a positive energy. We like to have fun, of course, on the field. Some people have their own things that they have going on as far as hair and, different things that they have going on. But at the end of the day, when we put that traditional jersey on, which hopefully we change soon. I know a lot of people talk about it. When you see that black and red jersey, you're in for a fight, and that's kind of what we do. Like I said earlier, we always have hard-fought games. I feel like we're always in it. And I would say anybody that comes to play for us, I think those two things, having a competitive mindset, but having a positive energy and wanting to be a part of an opportunity to grow. If you feel like you're out there and you're in between teams, right? And you're trying to figure out what team to go to. You want to go to an atmosphere where it's positive and it's a room, an area for growth, right? So I'm telling you, as far as for me, I'm going to support a player any way that I can. Obviously not financially because I'm not wealthy just yet. But if there's something that I could do to help a player, which I try to go above and beyond for my lady. So whatever I have to do, I do. But I would say my vision is to be a traveling team. I think that's what all the girls want. I think that's what I would want. We're looking to really build something special. And I know that's cliche, but I think when I look at what we do on the field and what we want to do, we're always, like you said, really, really close. That one play, that one player. We had our moment the other day where you're watching the same film that I'm watching. And I'm like, so I'm just trying to make sure I guess shrink that gap where it's like, hey, if you run and you just take 2 steps to the left, you score, as opposed to getting your flag pulled over here. So I think it's just closing that gap between just being competitors and actually winning. That's it. It's not very big. A lot of people probably don't watch the film. Again, coming from a Bucks fan, I know a lot of people don't watch Buck games. They just see people beating us, right? In the past, they just beat us. Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions, right? Oh my God, I can't believe he threw 30 interceptions. But did you watch the interceptions? Did you watch the receivers get the ball batted up in the air? It's the small things that you miss that's in the film that I see. It's not it might seem like it's delusional at times. I guess some people are like, oh, Gridiron Gang, you know how it is. I mean, they're like, oh, they're okay. They got heart, right? That's the story. But when you look at the film, you push it a little further. You watch the film closer. It's like, man, that hole was there. This person missed it. or this person took a misstep on a block, or this person rushed hard, but they missed the flag. So it's like we're there. We just have to clean up those small things. So if there's a girl out there that's looking to come in and join a competitive team, a team that I think this particular season is going to make a big turnaround, this would be the time to join. Because like I said, whoever's out there with me, that's who I'm rolling with.
No, right. No, y'all play with a lot of heart always. Physical, love to run the ball, obviously.
Right.
It is what it is. But there are a lot of successful teams that's built to run the ball that are very successful.
Of course.
Right? As long as all 8 players on the field at that time all buy in at that moment,
right,
you can do special things. I know you're transitioning to a new quarterback now. And, you know, I saw I saw Beautiful do some great things in the tournament. Like, she had some really good runs. And I reshared that play where Z went in motion, and then y'all sealed the edge, and she hit the outside. And I think if she just would have really hit it off the rip, like just went and hit it, she might have scored, right? Because the back, I think it was the backside linebacker or maybe the safety that came and got the flag. Okay, okay. So, but I think I was like, So
I mean, those are the things, you know, like I said, you take those away, you're like, hey, she's young, she's her first time playing quarterback. You know, we're in a tournament. I'm like, I expect her to make mistakes. That's why I'm telling her, like, hey, don't take this particular weekend as the ultimate truth. Like, you can't do this, because I mean, obviously she made some really, really big plays. Quarterback's not an easy thing to do. And then I'm asking a lot from my quarterback. I asked a lot from Maya last year, and I'm asking a lot from Beautiful. But I also try to be a little bit more creative. And what you saw in the tournament, you might see some of that, but I mean, we already changed, we're changing it, because I want to make sure that I use the talent that I have, as well as make sure I use Beautiful speed, as well as some of the other players. So, no, I agree wholeheartedly.
I think Beautiful can be a really, really good quarterback.
She can throw. Oh my God. It's like,
and this is coming from someone that played the quarterback position all his life. And helped and had one of the best quarterback in 8 women in North Carolina, in my opinion. And Tracy. And one thing I would like about Beautiful, a few things. One is all her balls has velocity. And I tell quarterbacks all the time, you want to get the ball to your receiver as soon as possible. You don't want balls hanging in the air too long. You want to get to them so that they can make a play. And she had velocity on her ball.
Like, it's so crazy.
I haven't seen it. Right. And for her height and size, you would think she probably couldn't. Right.
Yeah. But I was shocked.
She's I like it. And she's, everybody knows she has the speed. Right.
Sure.
So I think given those two, and then just really learn the game of football from a quarterback standpoint, she can be really special. A few things that she probably remember me at the Tar Heel State at the tournament, behind the film, I'm yelling, I'm just still coaching. I'm sorry. She probably like, it's wrong and shut the hell up. I'm sure that's what you're saying a lot of times. But
probably not.
I was like, in her head, baby. She was like, I was like, look, I mean, she didn't step through on a couple of throws back to back. I said, oh no, I'm lying. It was during warm up. Y'all was warming up.
Yeah.
She was throwing to the receivers, and I was like, hey, Beautiful, everything's fine, but it's not, because you practice, warm up like you about to play. Take your little one-step drop, work your feet, and throw a step through. What she was doing was getting the ball and just throwing it, right? I was like,
and that's, but see, that's where it's really special, because like when Beautiful's throwing, and I don't know if people got a really chance to see it in the tournament, but I mean, she has a real pro, almost Michael Vick-esque release. And I'm like, she's throwing 20, 30 yards without any lower body, without moving her actual hips. So I'm like, man, like, I keep raving about it. Like I told, my family, my brother, my dad, like, Dad, like, oh my God, I got this girl. She can really throw it, and like I said, I think it is just a matter of the mechanics. And again, that's where me as a coach being able to step in and say, hey, am I holding Beautiful back with the plays that I'm calling? That's what kept me up one night. I was like, am I holding her back? I like the plays we're running, but I might have to switch this up because I don't want to pigeonhole her either, into, hey, you got to throw that deep ball because I know you can, you know what I mean? Or you're going to have to run because I know you can. But we're going to use everybody around her. But I know we got something special. And I told her, I said, listen, you work on these small things, and I'll say this in front of everybody, and she know it. You could be the best quarterback in North Carolina if you work on this game. I'll just say it because she has that type of arm.
Yeah, and I told her this, and I'm like I just said, if she puts the work in, she can be very special. I mean, very, very, very special. Because one thing you can't teach in flag is speed.
Right.
If you got a quarterback that's very mobile with speed and can throw, then she now the defense, it keeps defense up at night. For one, you got to be able to contain her,
right,
and also be able to contain the back end as well, which are what I'm saying, at the same time. So that keeps the defensive coordinator like, oh man, we got to worry about a mobile quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So for her next level for her, and I've told her this and tell her again and tell her I'm sure she's watching like everybody just got out of practice because they all logged on. So shout out to Gridiron Gang. I see y'all. It's just always like her working on her footwork as much as she can. She could be in her living room and just be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then throw the ball to Tasha while she over there cooking something to eat. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, Tasha, did I step through that? Did I step like it sounds so cheesy and corny, but I'm telling you.
You're right. And I always listen, I mean, I'm that type of person too, because I tell them like, I mean, it sounds crazy. And I'm sure people on the stream will be like, oh yeah, he's nuts. But I told him the way I learned how to catch as a young kid, I used to lay on the floor and I would just throw stuff in the air over my face. Right. So it's like you're throwing a cup right in the air. If you miss, this thing gonna hit you in the face. Right. So it's extreme, but it teaches you how to catch. It puts pressure on you. Obviously, if I was going to miss, I had to move out the way real quick. But the goal was not to miss. That was the whole thing. So, no, I agree. I mean, it's definitely going to take work. But the one thing about Beautiful and a lot of other players is that they really, really want to win and they really want to get better. And I think the response after the tournament was, hey, not only do I know that we need to recruit, but we also need to work on certain skills. How do I do this? How do I do that? And that's what we worked on.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think, and it's take away what you learned from the scrimmage, watch the film, and say, okay, hey, these are the necessary adjustments I need to make as a coach, and they need to look at it and say, hey, this is the necessary adjustments I need to make up for the player. Right. And then once you do that and say, okay, coach, I saw that my feet work is hard, but that's why I'm missing my blocks.
Right.
What can I do to work on feet work to be a better blocker? Okay. Or quarterback. Hey, coach, all my throws is off. What can I do to get, better throw? Receivers. Hey, I can't create separation enough for the defender, so I can't catch the ball clean. So how can I be able to catch the ball in traffic? Like things like that, or rushers. Damn, I keep getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? Well, you need to learn how to use your hands, keep stepping through, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Linebackers, why are you out of position? Why? Probably because you're in a zone coverage, but you're backpedaling instead of playing in the coverage. So a lot of them stuff stays in the players. So the players, as coaches, obviously going to always be at the forefront and have to do their job and make sure they teach everyone, right?
Right.
And make sure everybody's held accountable. But they have to take that step too and be like, hey, coach said I gotta do this. Let me watch this film a little more. Oh, okay, let me do this a little more and things like that. But I think Gridiron Gang will be good because I know the mindset that y'all have because I spent a lot of time with y'all. I see what y'all did. The tournament wasn't the success the way you wanted.
Right.
But you can build off that, right?
Exactly.
You can definitely build off that. Keep getting the new ladies, keep getting the ladies excited, getting new ladies in, getting them excited. And before you know it, we'll see on the sideline, Gridiron has 30 players, and everybody gonna be like,
right. That's the goal, right? Because I mean, that's what the rule book say. The rule book say 30 players, so that's my goal. I'm shooting for 30. Because I'm telling you, because when you have people, that you're number one, I don't hand anybody anything, right? Everybody comes in, they work, they earn it. Like, hey, I didn't just hand the quarterback's position to Beautiful. I said, hey, we're going to have a competition. I invited you out. I invited a couple other people out. I said, hey, we're going to put them through the drills. We're going to put them through. I'm not just going to hand it to anybody. I'm going to let these people, let's see how they call plays. Let's see how they manage the huddle. Let's see the throws that they can make, the reads, right? So when you get to 30 players, I just feel like there's a higher level of competition in practice. And that's what I'm trying to gear up to, that high level, that high intensity practice that I think will ultimately push us over that threshold. We get that 14 to 16 or that 15 to 20 people at practice, and you're getting that real work, offense versus defense. I think naturally you just get better. In my opinion, but we work what we got. We get the 14, the 13 to 14 in practice. We work them, right? And, if I got to fill in, or James or whoever has to fill in for that last spot, we just get the work in. But that's my goal, to get to 30. I've told everybody, keep recruiting. Let's just keep building. We get to 30, we're in a good spot. Then next year we come around, let's say we lose 2 people, we can actually hold tryouts. That's how, we can actually hold tryouts. And hey, I mean, depending on where you are, and if if you might not want to play with us anymore, whatever the case is, me, I mean, I'll be transparent. Like, I will literally help somebody. Like, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to make no excuses for me. If you don't want to play with Gridiron anymore, like, you don't have to make no excuses for me. I will literally help you find another team, because I want you to be successful. I want this to be fun. So, but luckily the girls that I have, they've all wanted to buy in and be on the team. And they know, like, it's all love from me. Like, if you say, hey, I want to do this, or I want to do that, hey, we'll try it. I'll coach you up as much as I can. If a girl comes in and says, hey, I want to play quarterback, hey, keep working on your skills. Let me see what you got. Keep working on your skills. Next season, you come challenge whoever the quarterbacks are. Yeah. But that's the one thing, not handing it to anybody, and we're looking for people who are going to come in and be competitive.
Yeah, no, Coach, you said it all right there. I mean, you got it. You got the backing from the girls that that's bought into the program that you're trying to create. Right. I'm telling all the girls. I'm telling you, because I see a lot of you watching right now. Yeah. Take it upon yourself and go talk to somebody new this week and have them in practice, the next practice. Coach, I don't know how many girls you got total. Let's just say you got 13 girls, 14 girls, right?
Right.
If half of y'all just bring one person to practice, that's another 6 or 7 ladies.
Exactly.
And then 2 weeks down the road, half of those that did that, the other half do it. Now you at 25 to 30 players. And you can have really great practices. You can have really good things. And now it's always, and every team goes through it, went through it, will go through it, is at the end of every season, you know what I'm saying? You're dealing with women. So somebody's going to get pregnant probably. Right. You deal with this. This is a sport. So injuries. Work related. People, my job said I got to do this. I can't make it. Or some people just find a team that they think is best for them. So you always got to think about that depth, because your mindset got to be, even though it may not happen, but you always got to have it, be prepared to say, I'm going to maybe lose 4 to 5 girls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to think like that. And if you don't lose them, that's just gravy on the pot. You know what I'm saying? But you got to kind of start. You can never stop recruiting. I promise you. You get some team, the coach, you get complacent. Oh, we win and we good. The next thing you know, after about 2 seasons, they really good. And then they lost players from injury. That now they're not that same team no more, because they didn't think about the depth that they need at that team. I got all the best players, but I don't have depth behind those players. But what if something happens to those players? So all the gridiron ladies, all gridiron gang, right?
Right.
And go when you're in the grocery store. I don't care if you know what I'm saying, the hair salon, wherever you may be. If you see a woman, big, small, 16 or older,
you just feel like you just know. Yeah, you just know, like, man, that girl looks like she can play.
Yeah, get them. Yeah, just encourage like, hey, look, I play women's flag football. I want to bring you out to my practice. I think you'll like it. Is that simple?
Yeah.
I think you'll like it. And you don't have to do anything. You can just watch from afar. But if you want to, just bring your shoes just in case you do want to get like a workout. I promise you, when you start doing that, you're going to start seeing it. It's called the law of averages. If you talk to 20 people, and out of those 20 people, 10 of them will talk to you. And then out of those 10, 5 of them say they're interested. 1 or 2 may really show up.
Oh, yeah, I know it. I know.
But you got to talk to those many people to get that 1 or 2 to show up. So now, okay, if I talk to 20, I always get about 2 to come. Oh, okay, so if my other player talked to 20, that's 2 more. If the other player talked to 20, that's 2 more. So I'm telling y'all think, okay, well, Jerome, they may not be athletes. You don't know.
You have no idea.
You don't know. Some ladies that play flag, you look at it, you're like, oh, she can ball. I would have never thought it.
Right.
So I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding. You got to do it. So y'all get to work. I know y'all been working, but get to work. When you get off this call, when we get off this show now, reshare this live. This is all about y'all.
Right.
Most of it. The first 5 minutes, just don't worry about what I was talking about.
Right.
But the rest of it, this whole live is all about Gridiron Gang. Use this as a recruiting tool and reshare it. Send it to people in their inboxes and say, watch this, because Will Esports TV is not a private page. They can watch this whenever. And just like, hey, what you think about it? I promise you, you will start seeing more and more coming. And their interest. And then, man, next thing you know, they gonna be like, oh, man, they got 30 players over there.
Right.
What's the hell going on? Then everybody else got 10, 11, 12 players. Fit to work. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely happening. I mean, it's slower than you want, but I'd rather it be a slow growth than no growth. So yeah, we're pushing it. And like I said, I keep telling them, if everybody shows up, we'll be one of the best teams.
Yeah,
I can promise that.
I'm excited to see what y'all do here in a couple of weeks. And whatnot. It's going to be interesting. I don't know who's going to be game of the week first yet. I got an outside source handling the schedule. I should have it tomorrow though. I'm curious to see and whatnot. Last thing before you go, tell everyone about the event this Saturday.
This Saturday, we are having. I know I won't be there, unfortunately, but one of our players is having a community event in Morrisville. Is a community event really for the kids, but we want everybody to come out. It is at I think it's Morrisville. I can't think of what park that's at, but I do know it's in Morrisville. We could definitely put the link in the description once we finish. But Katia's out there marketing her company and trying to do something special for the kids. Some of us will be out there passing out snacks, possibly water, depending on, I think it's supposed to be hot that day. So if you can come out, that would be great. Like I said, it's all love. It's for the kids. There you go. It's a community fun day. It's always backwards. I never understood that, but yeah, we definitely get it posted. Yeah. But yeah, it should be fun. August 21st at 3. And yeah, I say come out, support the community, as well as support the Gridiron Gang, but it's really for the kids.
Yeah.
I know they actually have a kid DJ, which should be interesting. You always want to promote the youth, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll get this. Actually, I get it. I don't think I have it posted on Will Esports TV, so I get it posted on Will Esports TV. If you got any donations, y'all want to donate. I know some people reached out to me about donating stuff. If you go, it's a community, and we'll get the link and stuff all posted right after this live. It's a link you can go through and donate. You know what I'm saying? Big, small, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Everything is welcome. It's helpful for a good cause. Obviously, we're doing the back to school stuff as well. So it's just a great event. If you can make it out, come out. It's going to be good. Yeah, so definitely come out. Sure, but we'll get everything. Okay, Katia just posted the link right there in the comments. Zakaria there. Z, she just posted it. So there you go. Again, this is Troy, as he mentioned. He's the head coach of Gridiron Gang, team based here in Raleigh. Lastly, tell everybody where y'all practice at.
Right now, we practice at Briar Creek Park and Old Durham Park. We kind of go back and forth just to keep it fresh. There's a lot of patrol out there these days, so we just try to keep it fresh. I like to mix and match. So
make sure it's an even way for all the girls. So certain days you practice at Briar Creek, other days you practice at Old Durham Park, which I love Old Durham Park in Newark. I think it has a lot of character and personality. Kind of reminds me of Jersey City a little bit. That's the only reason I like it. It kind of has a gridiron feeling. I don't know what it is, but also it's a great recruiting spot. I'll give people that. I don't want to, but I'll give them that. And it's a great family environment, is what I'll say. There's dogs running around. It's just real cool. But so we practice at Briar Creek Park on certain days and then Old Durham Park on other days. But you got to be inside to know when we're going to be there.
Right. So there you go.
So there you go. So if one of the ladies could go ahead and put in the form, right? They can put in the form below, just in case anybody's interested in playing. That would be great. Just drop that job form right in there. I know you have the link. Because we've been pushing it.
Right. So. There you go. It's all about Gridiron Gang. Post whatever you want in there. You know what I'm saying?
Put the link down there, and then that way anybody's interested in joining, they can join. Or anybody, like I said, I'm open. I know a couple of girls have hit me up, especially after the clinic to talk about, what they can do better. I'm free, so I know I always tell any of my girls, hey, if you want to work on something, let me know. We always try to keep that open. But yeah, I'm all about the betterment of people, make sure everybody gets better in whatever way I can help. That's what I do.
So, keep doing what you're doing, Coach. You know what I'm saying? I know at times, and everybody go through it gets to be like, man, this is a lot. It gets overwhelming at times, right? But I always say, man, if you got into it for a reason. So it's gonna come with it. Just try to be the best as you can at it. That's why I tell you, why do it if you ain't gonna try to be great at it, right?
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, I can say this. Being a head coach, and I guess you're saying you're also like the general manager of the team, right? It's not like you're playing Madden or something. Like you're really, really managing here. You got the money, you got the finances. Again, you have people messaging you. You got people doing all kinds of things. So I feel like every day there's something going on. But I mean, personally, I love it because this is something that I've kind of always wanted to do anyway, which is why I owned a semi-pro team years ago. Like that's why I got into it, because I enjoy the building process. But once the team gets to a point where it's clicking on all cylinders and the girls are just coming in, the money's coming in, it's going to be a completely different environment. And I want the girls who are here from the beginning to experience that. That's one of my goals. The girls the 8 to 10 girls that have been here from the very beginning when they were playing 6-on-8. Right, that's the story, right? Yep. They're playing 6-on-8 and they were grinding. I want those girls to realize and get that fruit of their labor, right? Being dedicated to the team, being here. Once we get up and rolling and we got all those girls and we're clicking, Gridiron Gang is going to be. We're gonna put something on the map. I don't know if North Carolina. Listen. We can either be the best in Raleigh, right? The best in Wake County. We can be the best in the state. We can be the best in the region, or we can try to be the best, period. That's the goal. That's the levels, right? So I just told you I'm trying to build a dynasty.
Right. No, that's the mindset. If you don't have that mindset, you shouldn't be coaching. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you shouldn't be playing if that's not your mindset to be the best is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that mindset and it's just recreational for you, that's okay. Don't get me wrong, it's okay. But you may be lower on the totem pole or the depth chart when it's time to play. That's all. It's some great role players. Don't get me wrong. There's some great people that's on the bench that can galvanize the truth, get everybody energized and going and pushing and being on time and prompt. And you know what I'm saying? It's some great. As long as you know what I'm saying? So, but if you always, that's you said it right. My mindset is if you're going to do it, why not try to be great at it?
Why not try to be great?
Why not try to be great at it? So let me see. What just posted the link for the fundraiser. Let's get the donations up so we can support our youth. The youth, can't wait for the season to start. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. You know what I'm saying? The youth, you know what I'm saying? I just picked my son in college, so youth is important. You start them early. take care of the youth early so that they can get a chance to have opportunities to go off to school and be, great and successful in life. But we have to help the youth and whatnot. But Coach, I won't keep you no longer. I know it's Tuesday night, but I appreciate you getting on, talking with us a little bit about you, about your program with Gridiron Gang, where the direction that y'all heading to, and obviously what y'all looking for in terms of bringing, players that you're looking for. So anybody that's watching, they'll take you. As long as you come in with the right mindset, as long as you come in positive mindset, want to grow with a team, coachable and whatnot, and want to help. Hit Coach Lee up. Hit the Gridiron. I know they got an Instagram page. Mm-hmm. I don't know about Facebook, but they got.
No, not right now. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, you got Instagram, you got the form. Like I said, hopefully somebody dropped it out there. Right? You got the form. Like I said, most of the time we get people in. Like I said, the captains call them directly. Or I reach out to them. So once you're in, then we add you to the Facebook group and all that other stuff. But like I said, I like to make sure you get the commitment first. 100%. Start adding people in and stuff. But yeah, if anybody wants to play, by all means, definitely reach out to myself or one of the players below. We definitely get you in.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Again, we appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for obviously believing in We Elite Sports, and we appreciate y'all being in the tournament. We appreciate the league, being in the league. I expect some good things because you're one of a few, in my opinion, veteran teams that's in the league. So, we still expect y'all to make some noise, and that's not just saying that. I really believe that, I'm saying, y'all can make some noise, and but it's going to be up to those ones that's watching, y'all. Right? Exactly. Y'all got to go. And I know if I know anything about y'all, y'all gonna definitely put the work in. So I'm excited to see it. Y'all know I'm just a call away. I think you know that. You can message me, call me anytime. Questions, I make myself available. If I need to come out, I don't mind coming out, helping where I can help. And because we're literally 12 days. What is it? 12 days away before the first game of the season.
Right. And my birthday is on the 28th, so that 29th, I'm coming out.
Birthday present. Tell you ladies, that's be a heck of a birthday present. You heard me? So that'll be a heck of a birthday present for Coach. He probably won't even go. He don't need nothing tangible. Right. He want to win.
You can save all that stuff. I'll take the W. Exactly.
Yeah, good. Okay. Well, look, I appreciate you. You have a good night, brother. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? No problem at all. And make sure everybody, let your ladies know, reshare this stuff. Reshare, because it's about y'all tonight. It's all about y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? It's all about y'all. And just X my little 4 or 5 minutes early for conversation. It's not that important. So,
yeah. I got you. I appreciate it, brother.
Nah, no problem, man. Have a good night, Coach. Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Again, that was Coach Troy Lee of Gridiron Gang.
I know you heard this podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you didn't, you can always go to our website at www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all of our previous. Be sure to tune in every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we always deliver the news, the analysis, and the reads.